All right, here we go. Another match. Man, I'm feeling rested, which is very rare. I normally don't get enough sleep because I work so many hours, and usually I just go home and sleep maybe maybe 3 hours, if that much, and then have to do house stuff, adult stuff, parenting stuff. It's a lot. Life is a lot, but rare moment of feeling rested. So I'm just gonna try to knock these out while I can before the fatigue sets in. So here we go, another match. At least here, this one also not problematic. Again, Fjorm, I think she's more popular than Ike, but that's my sneaking suspicion. As much as people try to hate on her, I never saw this many Ikes, or I didn't see this many Ikes. I saw, as I'm seeing, a bunch of Fjorms right now. So at least she's more popular than Hector, or maybe she's just easier to fit in. I don't know, but a ton of Fjorms this week, and she is a good unit. But we're just in a meta that does not facilitate omni tanking, and therefore her value is not as high as it could have been. Probably in summoner duels, you can get a ton of value there since there's only so many teams and so many nukes that you can fit onto that team. So the tanks at some point are going to be valuable there, but for Ether raids, not so much because you have a lot of options. Very surprised here that we're dying with Boulder. Gonna blame Valley for that. Valley and Black Knight Reflex. That's kind of what's happening there. But we are able to take out Larether, so we're going to do that. Or I did do that. Kind of wanted to get to Triandra here, since her dance would have proved problematic, because Fjorm, move, dance, attack from 2 spaces, somebody would have died, and that would have been GG's. So we are going to take out Larether, also take out Rhea because she's the duel, and that will give me more actions if I kill her dead. So we're going to take out Rhea. And Triandra, we got Triandra here since she's not actually covered by far save. So we're going to take out Triandra and leave, whatever is left there. Fjorm is not a problem if she can't reach you. Most units are not a problem if they can't reach you. So that's pretty much the overarching strategy here. Hit and run far, far away. That's pretty much the play. What was I saying? Armored units and their diminishing value. A bit more on that. Blame Elise. Definitely blame Elise. I kind of said that, healers were not in the best spot and needed something to revamp them. But man, did IS go completely, all the way through that door and through another door after that one, because Elise has definitely swung the pendulum back in the favor of healers, or at least herself. I don't know about the rest of them, but Elise is very, very good. And I think she will be for a very long time, unless there's something that prevents her from... I don't even know how they would do that. It'd have to be worded like something that says, if unit attacks, or if unit is attacked, any debuffs that would be applied at the time are neutralized, or after the attack are neutralized. Once per turn. I hope they would stipulate once per turn, hopefully. But yeah, it would have to be something like that to be able to specifically counter Elise, but then that also counters the majority of units in the game. So I don't know, man, but until they do something in that vein, Elise is going to be very, very powerful. It will be pointless to really run armored units on defense, which is kind of the problem that I'm facing right now. The conundrum is it who am I really saving? Are the saves just saving themselves? And that's kind of what it feels like. In a meta where the saves are just saving themselves, Black Knight is probably the only one that reigns supreme. I guess you could probably count Hector in that too, because he does have that built-in no counter disrupt. But for save units that don't have built-in NCD, their value is 0. You don't need them at all, because they're just cannon fodder. They're gonna die, which is the concern that I was having with building my defense for this week. It's quite difficult. Not a lot of options. And again, back to my point, Silence Ward is the most valuable skill in the game because in a meta where Flash is like the most dominant skill on Elise, or the second most problematic skill on Elise, you're going to need a way to protect yourself, and Silence Ward allows you to do that. Because Elise does not inflict feud. If she did, my god. But thankfully she does not. So we have Silence Ward to provide some protection. But without it, the only other option would more than likely be to run Null Counter Disrupt Echo or Null Counter Disrupt in your B skill, which you really don't want to do. Those are really huge opportunity costs on tanky units. You don't want to be running those skills in your B or on your Echo slots. They're not the best option for you. I mean, yes, you could do it, but you'd really be losing out on a ton of stats, and the opportunity of running Pair Up, which is so good still. I think it will be for a long time. I don't see how they make that better. And just basically better Echo skills, like Tumultuous Echo, Lull Echo. I kind of value that. I think it's really good. Yeah, they're just overall better Echo skills that you could run. And then also comes down to the fact that just not everyone can run those Echo skills, and not everyone can run Null Counter Disrupt Echo, the B skill. So yeah, short of that, or back to my original point, Silence Ward is the most valuable skill in the game because it covers everyone. And I feel like last week I was saying that we got, or maybe 2 weeks ago, we got Drive NCD and it was almost like not even valuable. Well, now it is because of Elise. Drive NCD is the most valuable thing. Well, not even the drive, just having no counter disrupt by itself is the most valuable thing in the game, I feel, because the only thing that's worse than
follow my example.
The only thing that's worse than missing a kill or failing to kill something is not even being able to attack. Yeah, because there's always the opportunity that you can attack back and potentially get the kill with the right support. But if you can't even attack back, then you're just getting hit in the face, and your hands are tied behind your back, probably even broken, and you just automatically lose. So Null Counter Disrupt, or rather Silence Ward, gives you the opportunity to at least smack them back in the face, or give them something to think. Gives them something, your opponent something to think about. Those were way too many T's for me. I was dying right there. It's a really heavy lisp. Yeah, it gives your opponent something to think about, and it just allows you to actually play the game on defense. A lot of bulky units left here, but as you can see, the strategy was to hit and run, pick them off one by one. Valley was being really problematic with the Miracle effect. She was making it difficult for me to kill the units that I needed to kill, which was Fjorm and Black Knight. As you can see here, trouble killing Black Knight, so I was going to have to do it the melee style. But yeah, Valley was being really problematic. And pretty much Boulder was really my only answer there, to go up and smack her 1v1 that way. Celica was too far away. I could repo, but because I don't have the healing tower, I no longer get to do that, those types of plays. I can't really gamble the bow trap anymore, because yes, I have Celica ring healing, which is 20. But how many turns do I need to heal everyone back to full health? Not enough. There's just not enough turns to heal everyone back to full health. So can't really gamble those traps anymore, and especially since most units have HP conditions. Well, I don't want to say most. A lot of units have HP conditions, and I'm not even keeping track of the ones that do. It doesn't make it. It's not. What's the word? It's not. Man, it doesn't make any sense. There's a word for that. Convenience? No. Expeditious? No. That's not the word.
Follow my example.
It's like right there. Feel it. What is that word?
Follow my example.
What do I do?
It is not.
Don't worry.
Hold on. All right, I'm gonna go with sensible, but that's not the word. It's just right there, and I can't get it. Well, yeah, it's not the most sensible strategy anymore for me to run into these ball traps because I can't heal back the 50, and that would just decimate my team and make it so that I could potentially lose because of, you know, HP conditions, not being able to live a hit, things like that. So yeah, can't really gamble those anymore because my healing tower is gone. Woe is me, no more healing tower. But yeah, that's the problem that's really the only problem with not being able to run the healing tower, not being able to heal. Otherwise, you're pretty much good to go.
Say the word.
You don't really need it. It's kind of like just I just don't like being at low health. I don't know how. I don't know how, you know, players do that. They just play with their units at 1 HP. There's always that guy that, like in Pokemon, like there's always that guy that plays Pokemon with all his units on the verge of death. That could never be me. All right, here we go. Lighting up the next one here. This one was a loss. Now, this one I do remember was a rematch. And I was really disappointed here. This was a really good team setup that I really wanted to play against, but unfortunately, I misplayed, and I got my Celica into a position that I could not recover her from. Unfortunately, the layout of this defense was really good, really good. Still. Remember how we used to always complain about that one desert map, and you know that was like the only map in the game? Now this stream map here is the only map in the game because it's all anyone ever uses. Because it's a good coverage for flyers, or at least it provides good coverage from calves. And it also, two things: it restricts calves and it enables flyers, so it covers those two bases. So it's very good for those two reasons. So yeah, it's all everyone runs now. There's two other maps, plus the ones that I use. I wouldn't really count the ones that I use because I don't really see anyone else using them. But there's two other maps, or terrains. The one with the broken blocks and the one with the unbroken blocks. So just those two are the other ones that, you know, I'll see commonly. But this one, everyone uses this one because it just works. There are spots here that you could potentially try to get in and attack from, which is the idea that I was trying to, you know, put together here with Celica.
Are there bandits here?
But it really necessitated me being able to get up and test some traps. But I failed at that conversion. I failed to set that up properly and lost or had to surrender because of that. I could not salvage the mistake, which sucked because I really wanted to play against this. The Hector Marsh combination is one that I wanted to test against to see if Boulder would win or if any of my units actually could win. Lynn, to be specific. I wanted to see how that matchup would have gone. And then, I just felt like this was a really good defensive combination. The double valley, I think that was really good as well. And then the Elise to cap it all off, which overall here means that you have no space to really be safe on turn one if you don't have the safety fence. It's, like I said, it's all hands on deck, big toe on the pedal, gas, push. You gotta be prepared. And from this spot here, I was planning to dance Alencia, but as you can see, I do not have the ability to do that because she has the Byleth ring, which I did not pay attention to, and my safety fence was about to get sniped, so it necessitated me either breaking the safety fence, breaking the whatever that thing is, catapult, or just going all out on turn one. I probably should have broken the safety fence, the catapults, but you know, hindsight, 50-50. Mistakes happen, and you kind of just have to move on from them, as long as you're not dead. So that's what happened here, unfortunately. And also, I really, really, really hate Heimdallr. Yes, the Foresight Snare sucks, but man, does that stall effect suck even more. Stall is the bane of my existence in this current meta because every unit that I want to use has +1 movement. We're in a mobility meta, and not having that extra mobility really, really stings. So she's very counter meta Heimdallr with that stall effect, and I just can't stand her. I cannot stand that unit. Hopefully there's not a summer version, but I think they might do it. There's a 50% chance that they might. And yeah, I was just reading the kit here to see where Fur gets her cantle from. It's actually in the Blue Skies, which I forgot. I was like, there's no cantle in this anywhere. I was trying to save the units. Like, I was thinking reposition and then dance and then reposition Celica, because you can reposition, you just can't dance her. I really needed to dance her to be able to fix this, but yeah, I was just looking for a way to save it. No way to save it, and I eventually surrendered. No way to test it. GG's to my opponent here, you got me. Alright, so this match was recorded a bit after. So this is the last match that I played. There's another match in between here, but I'm going to make that one a separate video because it's long enough to be its own video. This one is just the right length, so I'm going to add it to this one. Don't be confused, or, you know, hopefully it doesn't confuse anyone in terms of the tiers, and, you know, but just stating it out and pointing it out, this one was played after. But yeah, here we go with this one. I think this was also a really decent defense. And as you can see here, no save units, which I'm actually expecting to see more defenses like this, at least in Fire Season, probably even in Chaos Season. Maybe this is something that is creating the groundwork for Soren to come back in some capacity, because, you know, Soren can turn your units into saves, but you don't need to specifically run an armored unit for Soren to work. So what that means is that you are now enabled to run your Omni tanks as saves if they have the correct support.
You have orders?
For instance, Valley would make a fantastic far save or near save. Well, kind of have to be far save, I think. That's how that setup works.
Leave it to me.
I don't know. I forget. But Valley would make a fantastic one for far save, and then you'd try to figure out who could be a near save. There's plenty of bulky near save, plenty of bulky frontliners. You could go with Bjorn, for instance, in that role. Plenty of units that could play the near save role with a Soren ball on defense. But this, I think, is going to be the new meta in a few months, unless something happens and Elise just completely disappears, which I don't see happening since she didn't win the free unit thing. But yeah, I'm thinking that there will be more teams like this, with someone that has Silence Ward, someone providing support, which is what Fjorm is doing here, and also offensive pressure. Loki's still here because he sucks. And then you have the dancer, and then another dancer, and then, I don't know, I guess they like Yoon. And then Nurgle is here to copy bonuses, which is a good option. Yes, save units are still valuable, I think, but in terms of a place, if you have better units, like let's say that Nurgle, for instance, that I just initiated on, if that was someone else, if that was, for instance, Ike, probably not so much of an easy initiation. I'd probably have to think a little bit more, you know, create more openings, do more things to get that kill on if it were Ike or someone bulkier, or if there was more support, I'd probably have to do more things. Or if that was Valley, for instance, I'd probably have to do more to take out Valley as a frontliner there. So there is going to be defensive builds that will incorporate different units to stop us, or replace, rather, saves in general. I kind of see that. I kind of see those armors going to the wayside, because issue number 2, along with them just being nullified by Elise, is mobility. There's no point in running. If the save unit can't save, then that's automatically one value gone. So the other value is, can you kill something? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. But if you can't get to that thing to begin with, then it's not even a question. Usually
Are there
you're
do
seeing
you have
armored.
orders?
I always, if it's like a armor that I can take out, I usually leave that armored unit for last because I know that they can't reach.
You are
So that's
bolder.
either going to increase, because I actually really just hate that C skill that Edelgard has. I think I mentioned it the other day.
Which target?
Assault, whatever it's called. Still allow you to
Off I
warp.
go.
I hate it because there's no pass in it. The whole reason that you want the extra, I mean, yes, it's great to be able to
Got
warp
it.
3 spaces, but if you're denied by warp bubble, then what you have is essentially
care.
useless, and warp bubble is
Leave it
the
to
main
me.
thing in the quarry terrain. So it's like useless. Like, why do I
Follow
need
my
this?
example.
So until armored units get
What do
actual
I do?
pass somewhere in their kits,
Don't worry.
that will allow them to actually be able to go in and initiate, regardless of whether or not they are inhibited.
We'll give it a shot.
Their value would be completely diminished on defense while we have Elise.
I'm watching over you.
Yes, in seasons where it's not like not fire season, which is like half the time, you can probably run them. But then, what are you just losing 50% of your matches? you're not going to stay in the vault that way. So probably gonna have to plan around
Are there
it.
bandits here?
And the plan around it is to basically just not use them, and that's kind of where I see things trending, unless we get a banner, like I said, that changes everything.
With care.
Which could always happen. I don't know what IS is doing. IS doesn't know what IS is doing. But we're moving forward.
Leave
So
it
this
to
was a
me.
pretty simple clear once I was able to pick the units that I
Let's
wanted to
see it
pick
through.
off. But I just wanted to point it out that the combination of units
have
there
orders?
is probably going to become more common. You're going to get units
Name a
of
target.
higher quality with similar skills. And once that happens, we're probably not going to be able to clear any defenses at all. And that will hearten the end of armors, at least for a little while, because they like to
We'll
give
give it a
armored
shot.
unit stuff to make them
Got it.
viable. That was the whole reason that they got saves, because they were just useless prior to this, unless you were like running
You have
Wings of
other
Mercy or something.
bandits here?
But I like we're
care.
definitely not in the armor meta currently, or at least half of the time we're not. But I still think currently,
I'm watching you.
in spite of Elise and the fact that we're not in the armor meta,
If we're
Black Knight
together.
is the best because of no kind of disrupt, and I'd probably throw Hector in at number 2 because he also has no kind of disrupt. GG's.